Oh, YouTube's free content. How do I make any money from it? Oh, it's so saturated. How do I stand out? Everybody's got a YouTube channel. Why would I even bother if I feel like such a small fish? These are the things that were true for me back in the day when I first started my channel. They're still true today, but that doesn't mean that you can't break out. If you are a movement teacher, here is why you should be on YouTube. All of the reasons why it is worth your time, why it's not work for nothing, and why even if you feel like a small fish, that doesn't mean that you can't still build something of substance on YouTube. Now, number one, what many people don't realize is that although, yes, YouTube is a long game and initially you don't get monetized straight away, it does take some upfront work. Once you do get monetized, every single video that you post is like an investment because it continues to generate you an income after you have posted it. So that initial time that you put into the planning, the recording, the editing continues to generate you a return on that time investment. There are few things like that, especially in the movement space, where you can put your time into something and it continues to make you money. And the best part, this is part number two, is that you don't really have to sell yourself on YouTube. If you are offering free classes, people will just come because they're free. And if you're like me and you don't like being overly salesy and you don't love having to hound people and promote constantly, it is a beautiful place to be because people get something for free and you eventually build something where you can get paid by offering that free service. That is like a really lovely place to be. Now, I know the main question is, but YouTube's so saturated now. How do I stand out? The same was true for me back in 2019 when I first started my channel. Yet here I am, 1.3 million subscribers later, and it is one of my most reliable and sustainable sources of income, even though for the first 4 years, I made no money from YouTube. This is why I said at the beginning, it is a long game and it's very difficult, but if you can stick at it and hopefully by listening to some of these tips, I can save you 4 years and help you fast track it a little bit, you can make a really decent income from YouTube. And this is why I think all movement teachers should be on here because it's a plan B for you. If you are stuck teaching in person where your time is tied to making money, i.e., you don't have another way of making money other than being physically present to teach, then it's a very tricky spot to be in. If you get injured, if you get ill, if you've just got personal stuff going on and you just cannot be there to hold space for people, it's very, very difficult unless you've got a plan B. That is what YouTube can be for you. I always approached it like a business, and that was why in those early 4 years where it was very, very slow, the only thing I focused on was getting a little bit better each video, was improving my cueing, improving my camera presence, improving my setup, really going over the feedback that I was getting, even if it was just a few comments in the beginning, so that each time I could iterate and continue to develop the content that I was putting out there. I honestly think what holds most people back is looking at what everybody else is doing and then thinking, oh, let me try that, let me try that. And it just becomes this confusing mess, like this hodgepodge of a strategy. Whereas if you simplify it and just focus on 1% improvements every single video, you will start to see that you're on a trajectory to growth rather than getting distracted by each shiny object every other week. Like, it really is as simple as that. I also think what most movement teachers don't realize is that YouTube is a business opportunity. If you treat it like a business and treat it like this production line of content that is an investment into your future, not content that is free, it's for nothing. If you realize that the amount of goodwill that you foster with people by sharing content for free, that is something that you can leverage in the future. If you did want to do retreats, you go and post that on YouTube. Those are the people that have been spending the most time with you. So those are the people that are most likely to want to come on retreat with you. Or say you've got any other kind of paid offering, those are the people that are most likely to want to buy from you. Like, my YouTube audience, hands down, are the people who are doing my programs. Those are the people who are also signed up to the YouTube membership, which I also make money from now. It's another avenue that you can explore, but it all comes down to, if I hadn't have spent years posting free content, building a ton of trust and goodwill with people, I wouldn't be in that position now. This is why you've got to think about it as a long game. Think about it as a long-term business strategy. How do I build a community of people who trust me, who can rely on the content that I'm putting out there, who know that there is consistently going to be high quality content being posted on my channel? That would be the thing that I would focus on if I were in my early days of YouTube again, not, oh, it's so saturated, oh, this feels like it isn't going anywhere. Of course it won't feel like it's going anywhere if you keep comparing yourself to everybody else, but like seriously, just go and look back at some of my early YouTube classes. I think I've got one of the first ones still posted on my channel. It's not private or unlisted. I keep it there as a reminder to myself of how far I've come, and I keep it there as a reminder to you guys of how possible it is. It is possible to go from being the most awkward, camera shy, self-conscious person to being someone who can just sit in front of a camera and talk to it like I'm talking to a friend in a cafe, because eventually, once you put the reps in, it does get to this point. What I will say with YouTube is it also gets to a point where things start to get easier. When YouTube sees that you are posting content that is continuously helping people, it pushes that content out to more people, because it goes, oh, okay, we know a bunch of other people who are interested in XYZ. Let's show them that content too. It might be helpful to them. Then let's show them like long form content that person's posting too. The long form is where you can make the most money, because short form doesn't really pay that much in terms of AdSense. But just for some clarity here, because I think it's really helpful to see the numbers. Here is one of my videos that I posted about 3 years ago. Over its lifespan, this is what it has made. One video. And it continues to make me money. The last time I checked, I think this video is making about 200 to 300 pounds every single month. That's one video. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. So you just imagine. And I know that my channel is at, the top end of channels in terms of views, in terms of subscribers. You don't need to be there. You don't need to aim for that. That wasn't where I was aiming for. That's just where it's got to. But in the early days, when I first started making about £2,000 on YouTube, I remember feeling like I'd won the lottery, because that gave me so much freedom. I still had my full-time job at the time, but I had now an extra £2,000 a month of like a financial buffer. That was my plan B. So if I got ill, if anything happened, I knew that was coming in each month. That gives you a kind of peace of mind that no amount of teaching in person can, because it's always tied to your time. This is why I think all movement teachers should take YouTube seriously, should play the long game, should try to focus on those 1% gains instead of constantly switching tactics and comparing themselves to what every other creator is doing. And I think there's one message that I would like to leave you on, which is a really important one for anyone who feels like they don't have the personality for YouTube, or like everyone else is just better at this, better at talking, they're more articulate, they're more, better at this. Like, I used to be you. I used to think the same thing. And if you ever watch any of my videos and think, oh, she's making it look really easy talking to camera, it still doesn't feel easy. I still have to put the reps in now, like 8 years later, like almost a decade, and it's still challenging. If you feel like you don't have the shiniest personality, if you feel like you can't like crack jokes and whatever it is, I think the strategy that you have to remember, and this is something that really helped me, is that you can be an educator. You don't have to be an entertainer. You can be the person that creates content that is just really helpful, that hasn't got anything to do with your personality, that hasn't got anything to do with your ability to make people laugh. If you can create content that just answers a simple question, or just gives them a tip that makes, something finally click for them, that is worth its weight in gold. You don't need to worry about being funny. You don't need to worry about having a sparkly personality or whatever it is. Like, that's always been my strategy, was how can I just be of service? How can I be helpful? That was the thing that I kept coming back to, and that's what's helped my channel grow. So I hope if you take that and you use it, it helps you on days where you're comparing yourself to other people and feeling like, oh, I need to be like that person or like that person. I hope you found this video helpful. Any questions, YouTube related or other, just let me know in the comment section.